What's up, YouTube? It's JackalGoldKick. So, I know I've talked about this before, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't help but keep talking about this because gaming is something I like. Gaming still sucks nowadays, and it's not getting any better, and I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm a fan of video games, I like video games, but honestly, video games fucking suck now. Literally the only game I liked from this year was Resident Evil Village, and that was a reiteration of a series that's been around for years. Gaming still sucks, and it's still boring, and it's still shitty. There's no interesting games coming out that I care about. We're just seeing rehashes of shit. Oh, GTA Trilogy, a Skyrim re-release, a remake of a Star Wars game. So we got rehashes out the ass, we got countless sequels to milked franchises, and we just don't have anything interesting coming out. What happened to the old days of gaming when it was actually good, when it was actually worth the damn? I miss the old days of gaming when we had stuff like Dead Rising 1, or Fallout 3, or Gears of War, or Left 4 Dead, or even take it back further, stuff like Resident Evil 4 in the PS2 days, or The Warriors, or GTA San Andreas, or take it back further, stuff like Banjo and the N64. What happened to video games? Video games used to be so goddamn good. Now they are trash and now they suck. And when I still, and look, with the PS5 and Series X, I still see no point in getting those consoles. I still don't see any reason or any point to get a PlayStation 5 or to get an Xbox Series X. I still see no reason to get either of those consoles. Gaming nowadays still bores the hell out of me. If I'm ever going to be playing games again or initiating a gaming again, it's going to be old stuff now. Because gaming nowadays just fucking sucks. It's trash, these days, I just don't get excited anymore when it comes to video games. And there's nothing I care about anymore when it comes to video games. And I also, just in general, don't care anymore about gaming in general nowadays. And I think it sucks, and I think it's trash, because there's no originality. We're seeing rehashes. We're seeing stupid-ass business practices because game companies are too greedy and can't just be simple and go back to the days of just putting a game out and that's it. No, they got to do DLC and stuff. And then, and some other reasons gaming sucks nowadays. Like I said, you got the bullshit business practice. You got the DLC. You got the microtransactions where they want so much fucking money from people. Buying the game just isn't enough for them. You have to buy all this other bullshit, which is a load of crap, making these games incomplete, charging out the ass for a game. A game's not really $60 or now it's going to be $70. That's not really the real price tag because they all this DLC and shit, They want so much money from everyone instead of just releasing a game by itself. What happened to that? Movies still do it. CDs still do it. Yeah, there may be a deluxe edition or something of a CD, but for the most part, when you buy an album or you buy a movie, it's the whole thing. There's no DLC. A while ago, I bought an album by JB called New World Order. That was the whole album right there. There was no DLC or patches. Why can't video games be like that? Why can't we go back to video games being released complete? Why do we have to have DLC and patches and all this bullshit? Because it's crap. So yeah, the business practice side of things still sucks as well in gaming. These fucking live service games where they release a game half-assed, and then they have all these loot boxes and battle passes and DLCs and microtransactions. These fucking game companies suck nowadays, and they're all money-hungry bastards. They make video games incomplete forever and years to come for the future generations after us. They're not gonna be able to play any of these games complete because of all these DLC and bullshit. I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of this greed. I'm tired of this bullshit that's going on in the game industry. Then you got the broken fucking games. You got all these broken games coming out. Games are being released broken nowadays, half-assed. They have to have so many patches just to fix the damn thing. It's like I thought the job of these developers was to make a fucking video game, and yet they can't even do that anymore. You got to have fucking patches and updates down the ass. And now there's this roadmap of certain games like Cyberpunk and Fallout 76 and all these shitty-ass games where it's like, hey, let's release it broken, but we'll fix it down the line. And that's what they call a roadmap, a live service game. Well, yeah, fuck that shit, because gaming nowadays fucking sucks, and I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of boring ass, lame games coming out. Gaming in general nowadays fucking sucks. I don't really care about gaming anymore nowadays. There's nothing that ever really excites me or gets me hyped. There's nothing I can care about anymore with gaming. Nothing I get excited about anymore. And there's so many rehashes of the same thing. There's no new ideas. There's all this business practice bullshit of game companies being so greedy, raising the price of games to $70, doing all this DLC and microtransactions, all this bullshit where they want so much money from people when they can just release the game by itself complete like they used to do back in the day. And on top of that, they want to release games broken and do patches out the ass because they can't do their fucking job and release the game working in the first fucking place. And another thing that's bullshit from these developers is they're liars as well. they'll release these betas or alphas, and really the alphas and the betas are what the game actually is. That's something I've learned for a long time. A lot of times with a game, they'll show us a beta or an alpha, and it'll be rough around the edges or, glitchy. And, some people assume that it's not going to be like that when the final game comes out. But these days, that's what it pretty much means. When they show us the alpha and the beta, they're really showing us what the game is. Like, let's be honest, that's what it is now. When we see an alpha and beta of these games, that's really what the state of the game is. That's what it is. I remember a time when we first saw a game compared to when it finally does come out. It was a night and day difference. Dead Rising 1 is a perfect example. If you look at Dead Rising 1 in 2005, it looks completely different compared to Dead Rising in 2006. The 2005 version of Dead Rising 1 and 2006 version of Dead Rising 1 are night and day difference. You can tell there was a lot of work from that version to the other one. That's when, early releases and pre-release footage, that's when you could trust that stuff. That's when you're like, okay, I see this game for what it is, and it's going to be finished when it comes out. But these days, you can't trust betas and alphas anymore, because alphas and betas now of games and early stuff, or whatever the hell that tech stuff is, early beta stuff, they're basically just showing you what the game is going to be. Because I haven't seen one game and nowadays that had an alpha and beta, and that when it finally came out, it was actually completely working. Because, that doesn't happen anymore, And gaming just sucks nowadays, and I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of the way things are. Gaming just still fucking sucks nowadays, and I'm tired of repeating myself, and I'm tired of having to rant about this, and I'm tired of having to say gaming sucks. I don't want to have to say this shit. I want gaming to go back to being good, But it's trash nowadays, because there's nothing I can care about in terms of games. There's nothing exciting or hyped. There's nothing to get hyped for. There's nothing I can get excited for. There's not a reason to get a PS5 or a Series X. Those goddamn consoles are not worth the money. They're not exciting. So not only is there no games I can get excited for, but there's rehashes of shit we've already seen. They're running out of ideas. There's no innovation, and the game industry is greedy on top of that with DLC, microtransactions, and all that shit out the ass. And they can't fucking release games properly, so they do all these fucking patches and stuff. I'm just sick of this bullshit, I'm just tired of it, and I can't take it anymore. And I just wanted to make another video ranting about this, because I like video games, and I think they're great. I like video games. I think they're good, but I don't like the state they're in. Video games are in a very bad state right now. They're boring. They're not interesting. We're seeing a bunch of rehashes. We're not seeing originality anymore. We're not seeing innovation anymore. We're seeing broken games, games needing to have patches, games having to have this huge long roadmap where they're going to patch it down the line. I'm tired of it. Gaming just fucking sucks nowadays. From the DLC, the patches, the unoriginality, the rehashes, all of it is fucking garbage. And I don't know if it's ever going to get better. I think the only way it could get better is if we have another gaming crash, which I hope happens one day. I want another gaming crash, I do. Because when I look at the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, I just see no reason to get those consoles. The PS5 and Series X just seem boring to me. Like, literally, when I look at the PS5 and Series, I'm like, these PS5 and Xbox Series X, and I look at these two new consoles, I'm like, these consoles just came out in late 2020, and we're at the end of 2021, heading into 2022, and I still do not see a reason to get either of those consoles, and there's nothing to be hyped for. And this is why I'm pissed off. This is why I'm so negative, and why I'm so complaining and ranting about gaming nowadays, and why I'm so pissed off about it, because the whole thing itself fucking sucks. DLC, patches, broken games, unoriginality, rehashes, nothing to get excited for. The whole thing fucking sucks. But that's all I got to say about it. This is just another video talking about why gaming still sucks nowadays. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, hit the notification bell. And that's all I got to say.